Okay, so Layla Edwards today. Sorry, there was a bit of a hiccup. Um, honestly, I recently picked her. I didn't even know who I was going to do today. I didn't know who I was going to pick until I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw her. And I saw her and I was like, oh, she might be perfect for what I need. Perfect for what I need, because Layla Edwards, she is a hockey player, right, for Wisconsin Badgers, right? She's been in a lot of tournaments. She's an American college ice hockey player for the University of Wisconsin, and she is a member of the United States Women's National Ice Hockey Team. She has won two World Championship medals. And okay, just stuff like that. She's a wonderful hockey player. But the reason that I picked her, the reason that I picked her, not because she's a hockey player, not because she's a hockey player or anything like that. It's because she has done something for Black history. That's the whole purpose of me. That's the whole purpose of me actually taking the time to figure out, do research for her and figure out all that, But she has plenty of medals too, which I didn't know. She has plenty of medals, but she also, right, she has plenty of medals and all that stuff, and she became the youngest player to receive the honor. Edwards made history in 2023 as the first Black woman to play for the U.S. Women's Senior National Team. Right, the first ever. So I'm guessing before that it was all white women. Doesn't even matter. She also became the first Black woman to score a goal for Team USA at the 2024 World Championship. Right, like first woman to do something like that. So this is why she's on the list, not because she's a hockey player. To be honest with you, I don't even watch hockey. But for her, I will watch it to get information and just to see how she plays. But so that's the reason she's on the list for episode 13, Layla Edwards, and she is making waves. She is making waves is what she's doing, to be the first Black woman to score a goal on Team USA, and also to be the first Black woman to play on the women's senior national team. So, and like I said before, so I'm assuming that it was all white women that was on the team. I'm not a big hockey fan, so I don't really know too much about it. Just assuming. But also I'm just assuming it's white women. And but also she has won two NCAA national championships with the Wisconsin Badgers, which is awesome. The team she plays for. From what I research about her, she seems like a loving and sweet, but also tough girl because she plays hockey. And I keep on saying that too, though, because I mean, when you become that famous or that popular or whatever, you're gonna be seen in a different light. So it wouldn't pay off for, like, when you start getting that fame and everything, for you to be disrespectful to people, be disrespectful for to your fans and to the players and stuff like that. You're in the spotlight now, so you need to put your best foot forward, as they say. You need to put your best foot forward. But she's a hockey player for the Badgers. She shoots right. Her position is forward. She's 6'1", which I can attest to that because I've watched videos. Yeah. But she really seems that she does have a good head on her shoulders, and if she keeps this up, she's going to be going down in history when my kids look up Black history, because she's making history now, but she's actually going to be a part of that history when my kids, when they grow up and they want to know about history, because I'm going to make sure they know about their history. Because I've said this in a couple of episodes. I've said, if you don't know your history, if you don't want to know your history, or you don't want to try to understand where you came from, then how the hell are you going to know where you're going? You got to know your history. And from the information that I've seen from her, it's really not much to talk about, because it's not really much for me to talk about her, because all I know about her is that she is a hockey player. You know what I mean? She is a hockey player, but she was the first black woman in two things, which is awesome. But all I know about her is that she does hockey. And of course, Wikipedia, because I know on one episode, Wikipedia did lie to me it lied to me about something, and then it got corrected when we watched the videos on YouTube. But I'm not gonna say too much more. I always rant at the beginning because there's so much to say, because I really want people, preferably younger people, to understand and want to learn about their history. Because this new generation, everybody uses their phone. The fact that you use your phone more than you talk to people, and you don't want to look up your own history around when we're in the month of Black History, that's pitiful. You're on your phone 24/7. But let me get back to Laila, because this is all about her. She is making history, and she's making history to be 22 years old, and I'm very proud of her. I'm pretty sure a lot of people tell her that too, especially her parents and all that stuff. But she's really making waves. And when young girls, are watching her, or when they grow up, she is a real good role model. She's a real good role model for young girls, rather than rappers, rather than these rappers out here, rather than these athletes. Well, she is an athlete, but this is a woman who is dominating, being the first black woman to score a goal, being the first black woman on the senior national team. That's amazing. That's something to look up to. That's something to look up to. That says to young girls that, when I grow up, I'm going to do something, and I'm going to be as famous and popular as her, just to keep their head on. And okay, I'm done ranting, because I think I'm done ranting. I'm saying the same thing over and over again. So now let's get into some videos.
Back to CBS Mornings. The U.S. women's ice hockey team is off to a perfect 3-0 start at the Winter Olympics. That's good. Today they face their biggest test yet. It's against Canada. Oh, Canada. Star Laila Edwards is breaking barriers as the first black female hockey player to represent Team USA. She got an assist in Americans' opening game in Milan. Omar Villafranca met up with her before the Olympics to discuss what this historic moment means to her.
Between classes, Laila Edwards is busy mastering her slap shot. Now, she's lacing up her skates for her world debut with Team USA at the Winter Olympics. The 22-year-old University of Wisconsin senior plays defense, the polar opposite of her first time on the ice when she was 3 years old.
I started with figure skating. It was my dad's plan all along, just to make the transition to hockey easier, even though I had no idea while I was doing it.
Did you like ice skating?
I did, yeah. I wasn't the biggest fan of the outfits we had to wear for figure skating.
A little bit different than
yeah, the
hockey
tutus
uniform.
and the puffy. Yeah, no, I wasn't a fan.
Swapping skirts for a stick, Edwards started playing hockey at 5 years old, quickly standing out not only for her skills, but as the only girl on her team.
Were you ever intimidated when you were out there, or did you feel that they better watch out for me?
I definitely felt like I belonged, but there were times where there's a bit of intimidation just being the only girl. I was such a tomboy, I was basically one of them.
All of a sudden, you basically got a team of brothers.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
you were the little sister.
Yeah.
It didn't take long for the native of Cleveland Heights, Ohio, to become one of the best women hockey players in the U.S.
When you step out here on the ice,
It might just be me, but so there aren't. Okay, so before her, who was the reigning women's, like the best women's hockey player? there wasn't one. I just might be really ignorant because I don't watch hockey, let alone women's hockey. But for Layla, I would. I probably just got to do more research off a stream.
Guys, how does your mindset change?
I think I forget about everything I was worried about or stressed about. You know, it's cliche, but it's my safe space where I just feel like I can be myself and do what I love, along a lot of really good athletes and against good athletes.
In 2023, Edwards broke barriers as the first African-American player to join the U.S. women's national hockey team. Now, she's making history on the Olympic stage.
You're going to be the first African-American woman on Team USA. Has that registered?
I would say it's getting there. I think it's just an incredible honor. I get to be the first of something and a role model for others. Yeah.
There may be some girls who think hockey's a boy's sport, not a girl's sport. What would you tell that little girl who wants to play, but is on the fence?
Yeah, I would tell her there's no rule book that says hockey's for boys. There's no reason you shouldn't do it if you love it. I think that's with everything in life.
That relentless mindset has prepared Edwards for her biggest goal yet.
When you put on Team USA's jersey, what's going to go through your mind?
I'm just so thankful. I have had so many people help me get here, and especially my family. They sacrifice time, money, experiences, so many different things. This is my best way of trying to say thank you, is making them proud while representing our country.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Omar Villafranca in Madison, Wisconsin.
Pulling for Miss Layla.
Yeah,
Wow.
and Team USA. Right?
Go USA.
Yeah.
They got a tough one against Canada, right?
I know they are the defending champions.
How about that?
Olympic champs. Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, that was like a good intro. She's said everything that I said, becoming a role model for girls, and it's all about girl power, and there's nothing wrong with that. There is generally nothing wrong with that. If more women want to get into hockey, go right ahead. Go right ahead and be great at it. Don't just be subpar. Be great at it. Like, be great. And I know they can be.
My name is Laila Edwards. I'm from Cleveland Heights, Ohio. I started playing hockey when I was about 3 years old. My dad got my siblings and I into it as soon as we could walk. As a kid growing up, I didn't have many people to look up to that looked like me in hockey. So there's often times I was looking into other sports like LeBron James. Being from Ohio and playing for the Cavs, I was a really big fan of his. And in terms of hockey, there's people like Blake Bolden, who I was more familiar with. He's very successful at high levels. Kalia Johnson, Troy Tinker. Those are a few names that I definitely give credit to. Being in a majority white sport as a minority, there were a lot of microaggression. For example, my mom was coming into one of my games and the receptionist told her the basketball court was the other way. It's a long list of things, but instead of letting that get to me, especially talking about it now, it just gives me more motivation. I don't want anyone else to have to feel that way. I was more motivated by my love for the game and how far I wanted to go. In 2014, I was watching the finals, USA and Canada.
Fortino, Poulan, shot, score! The gold medal to Canada!
And I remember being heartbroken. I was 10 years old and I was crushed.
Megan Augusta, she scored earlier. Rooney to keep Canada's hopes alive. She is stopped! The United States wins gold in Pyeongchang!
And 2018 comes around, I'm watching it again, they win it. I remember being ecstatic and just in awe. I was like, yeah, I want that to be me. Well, I'd watch Hillary Knight growing up and I thought she was amazing. And then I got to do a little meet and greet with her and it was the coolest thing.
Oh, okay. Back to that statement is, I am so ignorant, to be honest, because there are women that actually do play fucking hockey. You just rarely hear about them, and it's not like something you look up on a daily basis. No, but I really got to do some more research on them, because now, see, I didn't know that they were going up against Canada like that. I know they probably did, but I didn't know anything about that, and I just realized that, oh my gosh, I put my fucking foot in my mouth, what are you talking about? We out here. You know what I mean? They out here. Oh, man. But, yeah, I just got to do some more research. That's on me. That's my bad.
ever. I think that just makes such a big difference for a little kid.
I played for the Barons. Yeah, she plays.
Oh, I used to play for the Barons when I was younger. It's
You
okay.
got to know a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That was you.
That was you?
Yeah.
As I've become more successful and grown in this sport, I've received so many powerful messages that keep me going and give me more motivation, whether that's little kids telling me they started hockey because of me or are continuing to play because of me. I hope to continue to do that. If I was younger and able to look into the future and see what I'm experiencing now, I would be shocked. To be the first black woman to play for the U.S. Women's Olympic hockey team would be incredible. And I think it's so important to see that representation, but also see it be successful. Advice I would give to young Laila and other young black girls and boys who want to get into the sport is just to keep going. There's going to be tough times, unfortunately, but if you really enjoy it, continue to do it. There's no reason, regardless of who looks like you and how many people. Just keep going and find joy in it.
1, 2, 3, 4!
Hell yeah, that was tight. Although it was short, what is it, 3 minutes? That was actually pretty good. I don't think there's any more explanation that I'm going to say about Laila Edwards. You want to know more about her, then that's up to you to do your research. You don't want to do the research, that's perfectly fine. I'm just putting it out here. So I think that's it for episode 13. I will see you guys tomorrow.